What about now? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Where do you see mute? I don't know. Is it working now? If it's not, we just gotta roll with the meeting. I'll just unplug it. All right.
Someone said loud.
Loud and clear, and you just. You know that's how it works. Okay, I'm gonna try plugging it back in because it's really hard to hear without it. Sorry, guys. Little technical difficulties on the live. Been known to happen around me. Yeah. Okay, how about now? All right, hopefully that works. Sandy Combs says, your sales consultant, Adam, was awesome. He went above and beyond helping us pick out a brand new Camaro ZL1. We will definitely be back to ask for him, as well as several of our friends and colleagues that we have already given his name to. Best car buying experience we've ever had, and we buy a lot of cars. Management, please make sure that you recognize Adam for his knowledge of the cars he was able to give us, his patience he had while deciding between a Corvette and a Camaro, and his ability to work as a team with your other departments to get us parts ordered as extras to be added to our car, from carbon fiber spoilers to liquid diamond protection. Strong. As an area director of operations for a hospitality company dealing with multiple brands, multiple states, and of course the public, then I know that Adam is a true asset to your team. Thank you again, Adam. Sincerely, Sandy Combs. Well, my goodness, where's he at? Oh no, is he buying breakfast on that review? No, he's probably downstairs doing something. Maybe. You guys know where he's at? Adam? Yeah. Assuming. Okay. All right. And Angie and Elliot, our salesman Luis made the car buying experience stress-free. There was no pressure to buy, and everyone was friendly. We will definitely be back. Nice job, Luis. And last but not least, I bought my 2015 Toyota Camry here, and my sales representative's name was Carlos. Overall, I had an awesome experience, and he had me taken care of in a timely manner. I will be back here in the future for another car and definitely recommend them to anyone. Nice job, Los. I don't see him either, but he's hard to see. So he might be hiding in here somewhere. I don't know. All right, cool. Storm. Crazy, right? Crazy. So my wife had sent me a video of this storm of my back deck, right? And in the video, I've got these wrought iron chairs, patio furniture. It's heavy, right? It's designed to be heavy and not move around. So I've got these wrought iron chairs. I have these tables that have this big, thick, tempered like glass round panels on them, these huge glass panels. And I've got this big gazebo that we bought right at the beginning of the summer and put it over the pool so the kids could like play in the pool but not be under that direct sunlight, right? And so we had all that like kind of on the deck, and she sends me this video, and it's crazy. The wrought iron chairs are slammed up against, like slammed all the way across the deck up against the hot tub. There's a piece of glass, a round piece of glass. It's about this big around, really, really thick and super, super heavy. My wife watched it through the window as it flipped through the air and went flying, right? Like this heavy piece of glass. So, like it's so sturdy that it hit the ground and didn't break. Like it hit the deck and didn't break because it's so thick, but it got tossed all the way across the deck with just force, man, just all this energy behind it. It was crazy. So we had that, and then of course the gazebo, my kids, as soon as I walked in the house, they're like, Daddy, there's a big spider out back, look. And we look, and my gazebo looks like a spider, right? Because it's just got arms and legs everywhere, bent, broken, in all, just in every, it's destroyed. Actually, there was one part of it's got these butterfly brackets that come together on the corner, and they had got bent, and the screws themselves still stayed in, and it actually bent the screws. The screws themselves were bent back. There was so much force and energy behind this storm, right? And so we lost power for a little while. We didn't lose it as long as a lot of you guys did. I liked how we were in that group me, everybody's talking, and then Ben chimes in and is like, you'd save energy on your phone if you quit messaging. Did you guys see that? But, we didn't have power out for very long, but we had power outage for just a little bit. There are some trees along the road that fell over and landed on some of the neighbors' houses. So regretfully for them, they've got a lot more damage than I do. I just have a little gazebo that I have to deal with. And as I was driving up, there was just light poles on their sides hanging from the wires. Just crazy, right? Just crazy. And when you think about the amount of force, like the amount of energy, right, that went into that to create that much kind of destruction, it's really crazy. Like, it's crazy if you think about it. Because basically these storms, right, they're just a combination of different types of energy, right? It's just kind of the perfect storm. You have energy that comes from heat and the temperature and from the sun, and then you've got energy that comes from, like the rotation of the earth, which is very hard to do because everyone knows this is a flat earth, right? So it's not really round. So I'm not sure how that works. Adam can maybe explain that to me later. But so you've got like all these forces combined. You've got moisture in the air, and then you've got movement of the winds, and it all shifts, and all of these forces combine to create this massive level of energy that can impact pretty much everything, right? So I thought about that a lot this morning. I'm like, man, that's powerful stuff. And how can we maybe tap into that ourselves a little bit and understand how that is so powerful? So I kind of broke it down into a couple different pieces. And one of the first things I thought about this glass, right? This big piece of glass that lifted up and is flying through the air. So I thought about that, and I thought, well, here's one thing we know. We know that energy lifts, right? We know that. Energy lifts. It has this ability, this power to lift things up, to move them, to put them in motion. Energy can do that. Do we all agree? Yep. Energy lifts, right? So I thought, okay, that's really interesting. If it can lift my glass and it can flip it across the yard, what else can energy lift? So then I thought, okay, well, what else does energy do? I got to maybe look at my notes because I was thinking about this morning. I don't want to miss this point. So I also thought energy transfers, right? Energy transfer. So you take this energy that came from this storm, you take it, you push it up against something, and that energy now transfers into it and can take it wherever it wants to go, right? So energy lifts, energy transfers, and energy effects. And it affects everything. Right? It affects everything. So I went out there this morning when I looked back out at my deck trying to figure out, what the damage looked like. I saw right in the middle of the yard there was a bird's nest, right? Bird's nest had got blown out of one of these trees with all this energy. And I started thinking, man, it didn't just affect me with my gazebo, right? It affected the plant life. It affected the bugs. It affected the animals. It affected the birds. It affected my neighbors. It affected everybody in the group me. It affected how we got up this morning. It affects everything, right? This energy affects everything. So then I'm like, okay, so if energy lifts, energy transfers, and energy, is that like a G? That is not even a G. How about that? What's that? Effects. Affects? You guys are watching out for me. Are you sure? Energy affects everything. So then I thought, okay, so if I know all of these things about these forces, now I can't control a storm, right? Like I can't control a storm at all. The storm comes in, it hits, it is what it is. My kids, they huddled up with Mama and Meredith. I posted a picture on it on Instagram. Meredith went to sleep like this last night. Like literally had her hands over her ears, laying in bed with her sister, and that's how she slept. And I took a picture of her. She's trying to keep the storm out and just the thunder, the sounds, the noises. And so we can't control those storms. Now we're made of energy, right? So if we're made of energy, we have the ability to lift. We can transfer that energy, and we can affect everything around us. But the difference between that storm and us is I can control this, right? I can control my energy. So I thought about that. I thought energy can be controlled. And that's when I thought, wait a minute, hold on. That's when it started to come across me. Hold on. This energy can be controlled. Well, how can I control it, right? Some of you might say, well, how do I control my energy? Well, there's lots of ways that you control your energy. It starts with the way you start your day, right? You You guys have heard that enough times from me, right? We wake up, we don't hit the snooze button. We wake up, we don't grab our phones right away and start diving into social media and negativity in the news and all that, right? We don't turn on any kind of negative music because that's going to affect our energy, right? We write down our gratitude list. We write down our goals. We go out and do something physical to take care of our body, and then we release this positive energy out into the world, right? You guys have heard me say it a million times. So we can control our individual energy. So I thought, that's neat. Energy lifts, energy transfers, energy affects everything, and I can control it. And then the last part hit me, and this is where this comes full circle. Energy sells. Did I spell cells right? It's not A, right? That one's an E, right? Energy sells. That's what hit me this morning. I thought, wait a minute, now we're on to something, right? Because we're salespeople. That's what we do. We sell, right? Does anybody in here make money off selling? Raise your hand. Okay, energy sells. Okay, so if we know that, we know we're salespeople, so this is where we got to get to. This is the end game. So how can we use everything we learned from this storm to make this happen? Well, we know that energy lifts. So do me a favor, lift. Woo, look. You stay right there, all right? You stay right there. I'm going to have you give me a bird's eye view. All right? So energy lifts. We know that. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just start clapping a little bit for Dan Cummins, right? All right, now let's raise it up a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's clap a little bit more. We got AB and live rocking, right? AB and live rocking. All right, now we know energy transfer. So turn to your neighbors, face each other, high five. Come on, high five. Everybody face each other, high five. Keep going. Keep clapping, keep cheering. Transfer that energy over, right? Transfer it. Right. We got it. We're moving, we're shaking. Energy transfers. Okay, now feel that. Feel that right there. Feel that. Everybody feel that? Does it feel different than it did just 2 minutes ago when you were like, what the hell is Glenn talking about up here? Right? It feels different, right? Okay, everybody have a seat for just a second. Okay, so we know energy lifts. We have the ability to do that. Right? We know that energy transfers. We can transfer energy to each other, right? And that's positive and negative, isn't it? Because if you've got negative energy, what happens? What happens when you're feeling real good and then you get on the phone and somebody's like, hey, so-and-so. You know, I know what happens to me sometimes. I hope my wife's not watching. But sometimes I'll get on the phone with her and she'll just be like, this kid did that, and you're lucky this kid's alive, and this kid pooped on the wall, and this kid did this, and this kid did that. And I'm just like, God. Man, I was feeling good. Now I'm like, can I stay a little bit later? I don't even want to go home, right? It happens sometimes. I'm just being real, being raw. Energy transfers, that energy transfer. So you got to think about that. All right, I'm a salesman. And my energy is going to what? It's going to affect every single thing. And I can control this, and ultimately energy sells. So what do we need to be doing as salespeople down there? We got to lift other people up, right? We got to lift and encourage. We can't knock each other down. Can't talk trash about each other unless it's Zach Toomey, right? There he's like, again, every meeting. It's only because I love you, buddy. Do you want a hug? You sure? Come get one. You came and got one yesterday. Did you like that one? That's right. No, I'm just kidding. We can't like beat each other down. You know, we got to lift each other up. And I've been in a lot of environments, and I'm sure you guys have too, been in environments where it's kind of cutthroat and everybody's like on top of each other and nobody wants anyone else to win. Those environments don't thrive. They don't succeed. They don't do what we do here, right? So we got to make sure we're lifting each other up. Your personal energy is going to transfer, negative or positive. So if you have negative things to share and negative things to say, do me a favor and keep those at the house. Just keep them at the house. It's going to be a no complain zone, right? No negativity, no complaining, because what is it going to do? It's going to transfer. Now, on the opposite side of that, we have this thing called ABN Live, right? You guys ever use it? You guys knew I was going to get there, right? Got this thing called ABN Live, and it's this awesome tool where you get to take a picture of your customer, you get to highlight them, you get to spotlight them, you get to put them up on the TV screens, and then they get to feel what we just got to feel in here, right? Everybody standing up, clapping, cheering, high-fiving. They get to feel that. That transfers and ultimately ends up affecting everything. Not just that customer that's up there being spotlighted. Yeah, they get that. That energy is going to affect everything. It's going to affect the showroom, right? It's a bird's nest that got blown over. It's the light pole. It's everything that gets affected. So as we're clapping and cheering and honoring these customers that chose to do business with us, when we deliver that, it literally affects everything. And now we can control our sales and our environment. Does that make sense? Got that? Can we put that all together today? So those are the things I want you to focus on. Let's lift each other up. Let's make sure our energy is transferring over in a positive way. Let's understand that every action is going to affect everything that happens down there on that floor. You guys' actions matter. Yesterday we had 6 out of 22 sales that were put in the ABN Live. That matters. It affects the overall energy of the day. It affects your body. It affects yourself. It affects your sales. Remember that this is under your control. It's completely under your control. You're not a victim. You can do this. You can do this, all right? And anybody want to sell anything today? Who wants to work here all day today and not sell anything? All right, cool. Love it. I'm glad that you guys are all here to sell something. I've got some good news for the veterans. I got some good news. We're going to throw the new hires down on the floor today, right? They're going to go out there and help you guys. They're going to grab ups. They're going to pull keys out of the key machine. They're going to show cars. If they got to grab a jump box, they're going to grab a jump box. They're going to get the customer inside. They're going to pull the customer's credit. They're going to sit them down. They're going to get them to agree on numbers. And then guess what they're going to do when they're done? They're going to grab you and put your name on it. How's that sound? They're going to grab the veterans and put your name on it. I just need you guys to do the bundles. That's it. I'm not paying them nothing, Jack. No, I'm just kidding. They're getting training pay. But you guys will just do the bundles. So help the new hires, okay? Help the new hires. You will be rewarded if you help the new hires today. Show them what to do, help them through the sale, and you're going to be able to slap your name on it on the end. That's cool, right? You good with that? Golden. That a boy. All right, cool. Let's have a big day today. I think we have 70-something appointments at the BDC. 70-something appointments with strong. After that storm and a little bit of rain, the weather's nice. It's supposed to be a high of, 80 today? I think so. It should be perfect weather. It's the perfect storm. Let's stand up and tell everybody why we're here and why we do what we do. And let's say it with some conviction like we mean it this morning. Because I personally am on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. I can do this by making people feel special, feel important, feel like they're the only one. I will offer an experience that will exceed my customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. I will not just sell cars, I will create fans. Let's go! Come on, let's go! Yeah. I hope you guys, if anybody's still on here, I hope you can hear, and I hope you're gonna have a big Saturday. Are we gonna have a big Saturday? Sean says he's gonna have a big Saturday. Are you gonna have a big Saturday? Have you guys met Ashley Farabee yet? This is Ashley Farabee. She is one of our new hires. She's been here with us 7 days now, and we are super excited to have another powerful woman on the floor, right? Do that. That's awesome. It's awesome. So get out there today and kill it. Hey, you guys have a big day. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share the post. I want everybody to know that we're open. We got some crazy, insane, great deals going on right now. We got tons of inventory in this place right now. The energy is electric in here right now, and the experience will be over the top. I promise you, if you make it in today. So come see us. Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. Hope to see you later.